Hello, good morning. Well, it's good morning here because it has been a very lazy Sunday. But today I was gonna talk about my personal view on Bitcoin because it seems that um, there are extreme views on both sides of the aisle. But before that, I wanted to say, thank you to the OGs of investing, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, because I did watch the Berkshire conference yesterday, and it's always good to learn from the OGs. Very educational. It was really cool to see them, talk to see Warren Buffett talk about history. Very educational for me, and it was really reassuring, to see arguably one of our best investors in history, if not the best, see him buying stocks. He spent 51 billion on buybacks, so he obviously believes in the economy going forward, and not that it's going to fall in some terrible, terrible recession in the near future, like some individuals think. But anyways, I did disagree with them on one thing, though. Um, their view on Bitcoin. It seems like Bitcoin, just like with everything else, there's extreme thinking on both sides of the aisle. And you know, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, they're not hypocritical individuals. They say they're gonna do something and they do it, right? So they don't like gold, right? So if they don't like gold, they shouldn't like Bitcoin. So their view isn't really that surprising. Warren Buffett did briefly. I love gold, so I keep up with it. Briefly buy some Barrick gold for their performance in 2020, but that only made up like 0.28% of his portfolio, and he got rid of it, right? So their view is in line with what they've been doing for decades. So Bitcoin is kind of like digital gold. I love gold personally, but I've never owned Bitcoin other than the fact to facilitate a transaction from exchange to exchange, because I believe I missed out on the rally and I would rather own gold than Bitcoin. So there is the other extreme thinking on the other side of the aisle, right? Where Bitcoin is this money that's gonna replace I don't know what, and people are gonna use it, and this is the people's money. And I'll tell you why that's very hypocritical, right? So, well, if people actually think that Bitcoin is the people's money, and this is the best, and this is the best for the people, they're assholes. Like, only 25%, 23% of the economy owns it. Like, you want it to be the people's money just because you own a bunch of it, and you're gonna be like, in the top 1%, or easily top 5% of Bitcoin holders, top 1%, whatever. That's why you want it to be money, because you own it. No one else owns it. Your average individual, the poor people, they don't own it for sure. On what basis do you want it to bring freedom and stuff if the average individual doesn't own it? And since I'm talking about Bitcoin anyways, I'm reading that it may be added to retirement accounts, it's not a bad thing. Like, in my eyes, sure, don't add more than 3%, maybe add 1%. But if you've never thought about like owning gold, or you don't like gold, or why would you even add it? But if you think, yeah, this is a store of value and I like gold, sure, add 1%. It's not going to hurt your portfolio that much. If it goes up, and I think it will keep going up, maybe slower than it has been in the past. Maybe it will correct a little bit more, but for sure, 10 years from now, it's going to be more than 100 grand. Yeah, definitely. That's my view, just it's a store of value. But here is what, Bitcoin is to me. And I just wanted to say that the extremists that want Bitcoin to the people's money, that's bullshit. The people don't own it. You're not for the people if you want Bitcoin to take over. You're for yourself, man, or woman, or whatever you are. You're for yourself. So please do not be hypocritical. But getting past that point, what Bitcoin is, in my perspective, and I could be the one that's completely wrong here, and Warren Buffett's part of the aisle could be the one that's right, or the crazies that think it's the people's money could be right. But this is my view on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, to crypto to blockchain is PayPal to the internet. That's what it is. It's a form to facilitate transactions in the future. That's what I believe it will be used as. It's out there. Enough people own it. Enough people believe in it, right? It's like liquid gold. What is gold? It's a yellow metal, If no one wants to pay, 1,800 or 2,000 for that an ounce of gold I have, then no one's gonna pay for it. If everyone wants to pay 1,000, that's what they're gonna pay for it. And Bitcoin's the same exact thing. People are willing to pay 38. That's the price. I don't believe it will go to zero because I believe it will facilitate a tremendous amount of transactions on the blockchain. As the blockchain tech grows, and I'll be talking more about blockchain in the future for sure. Bitcoin is a mean to store value and to facilitate transactions. Should you have it in your portfolio? Just like PayPal, you use PayPal on the internet. You don't have PayPal in your wallet, so it's the best way to facilitate transactions on the block, or not the best, but one of the most trusted ways to facilitate transactions on the blockchain because it's the most well-established one and one that's been out for a while. And simultaneously, it's also a store of value like digital gold, in my perspective. I will see moving forward if, that holds true or not. But in the meantime, I don't think Bitcoin is going to go to zero. It'll keep climbing higher with time. I've personally never owned it, and I don't plan on ever owning it because, just like Warren Buffett says, the return on you could get a return elsewhere, and I believe I could make returns so much higher elsewhere. Should you have it in your portfolio? If you love gold, it's if you want to have a little bit to diversify, sure, but don't do more than 3%. I mean, what the fuck is Bitcoin? Like, come on, man, it's a retirement portfolio. Just do 1% maybe, that would be nice. Just for some diversity, maybe it goes up in value a lot. I don't know. And for the people that's saying it's the people's money and it's gonna replace this and replace that, yo, stop being a hypocrite. Most people don't own this. You're in it for you. That's, like, what are you trying to accomplish? But anyways, and if anyone who's watching this, if you didn't watch the conference that they held yesterday, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. It's extremely educational for anyone interested in the financial markets or the economy. You should definitely hear the points of views of some of the most well-respected individuals. But anyways, I'm gonna put this video up on YouTube and Instagram actually because I talked about the OGs.